Welcome back to Movie Talk. I am your host, Rick. Follow me on Instagram, Rick_BHR. Hit the email, themovietalkpod at gmail.com. The Movie Talk podcast is back. I've been gone for a while. Anybody out there listening and you rocking with me, I do apologize. If you're still here rocking with me, I appreciate you. You know what I mean? We're going to turn it up. I've been gone. Last episode I uploaded was in August, about 6 months ago. It's crazy too because I remember doing that episode, and then I think like a week later or a couple days later, me and my wife went on vacation to Mexico. We was out in Mexico chilling, and I had recorded an episode. I recorded like half an episode, and then we was about to go get something to eat or do something. And I said, I bet I'm a, when we get back to the room and I, shower up, settle down, and we chilling for the night, I'm gonna finish the other episode because it was a vibe. I was like, yo, I gotta record the episode out here in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole shit was a vibe. The resort was fire. So we was just chilling and vibing. So it's like, yo, I gotta get an episode out here. You know what I'm saying? And I remember because I was gonna try and do a movie on something that had something to do with Mexico type shit. I forgot, but it was gonna be ill, man. But I was like, I didn't do it, and then I came back and getting the kids back ready for school and things. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? So I never really got around to finishing the episode, and then things just started going on, working, and I do have another podcast called the Jack Talk Podcast. If you're not checking that out, please go over there, and it's on all platforms. Please subscribe, download, do what you gotta do to stay in tune with that. So I was working on that, and I keep thinking in the back of my head, like, yo, we gotta do the movie talk, man. Gotta do the movie talks. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a movie head. I was up 5:30 in the morning like 2 nights ago, and it's funny because I had posted in my story on Instagram and Marlon Wayans, because I was up at 5:30. It was like 5:30 in the morning. Everybody sleep. My wife, she checked out on me at like, I don't know, like 10 something. And it's crazy too. It's a sidebar, but my wife always say I keep her up at night, right? But she wants to stay up with me. Like, she'll stay up with me for as long as she can. I'm a night owl. I stay up. So I'm up. She'll try to hang in there, man, but she'll be checking out on me, man. She checked out on me probably like 12 something. She checked, I think, because this was like Saturday. She checked out on me at like 12, if I'm not mistaken. Like 12 something, she's out trying to stomp with the big dogs. Can't do it. But I started watching Above the Rim, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to watch this for a couple minutes till I get tired. But it's so good that shit just like woke me up. Now I'm wide awake watching Above the Rim. And the funny scene where Marlon was in the car was Marlon, Dwayne Martin, and Wood Harris when they was in the Jeep and shit. And Wood Harris was like, yo, y'all niggas is playing too much. And you know what I mean? When he was barking on them, and Marlon was like, yo, nigga, you need a hug, a role model, something. And it was funny. I posted in my story. Marlon reposted it in his story. You know what I'm saying? That was dope, man. So that was dope. And I was just like thinking, like, yo, I got to start doing a movie talk podcast, man. I got to start doing that back because I'm a movie head. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of movies, like movie theme type of podcasts and TV show podcasts and things like that. So it's not that I'm necessarily doing anything new, but I know for a fact that some of the movies that I'm talking about ain't nobody gonna be talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because on this platform, I'm not just talking about the A movies. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, Z. I'm talking about everything. You know what I mean? Because I'll be up on Amazon Prime late night just looking through shit. You know what I'm saying? And I read the titles and I read the information, and I can look past. If I look at a movie and the title is good and it goes with what the movie is about and it's a nice themed movie, I'll watch it. I don't care if it's like a low budget type of movie. I can get past that if the title, I mean, if the plot and the theme of the movie is good, I'll watch it. I'll give it a shot. I'll check it out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they be like too, like the acting be just to the point where it's like, yo, nah, we ain't doing this. But if the acting is like halfway decent, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give it a shot. So I'm like, and all the times when I'm watching things and I'm going to the movies, you know what I'm saying? Me and my wife, we date night, we going to the movies. I'm like, yo, I should just come home and, you know what I'm saying? Crack the mic open. But I don't. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Enough is enough. Let's bring back the movie talk. So, as of right now, the movie talk is back. So I'm doing the movie talk and I'm doing the Jack Talk podcast. Those are both my podcasts. Please support them. I definitely appreciate it. The last episode, and another thing too, if for those who might be new to the to this platform, I'm just gonna talk about movies, and I will have some people on here to talk movies and things like that. All that's coming, but I'm not a critic. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a film student. I'm not a film director. I'm not an actor. I'm not any of that. You know what I'm saying? I just love movies. So I'm not here to be like, well, on this scene he missed his mark and he should have been standing over here and he didn't deliver the line and this. I'm not here to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to just talk about the movie, crack jokes on the movie, whatever it is. And, that's my way of talking about whatever movie I talk about. You know what I mean? The email is always in the description. The email's in the description if you want to suggestions. You know what I'm saying? So just please shoot me some suggestions to the email. If I never seen the movie, I'll watch the movie and then I'll talk about it on the podcast. And if I did see the movie, I'll come on the podcast. Yo, I got an email to talk about this movie, and I'll just talk about that movie. You know what I'm saying? From my point of view, what I like, maybe what I don't like, and funny moments, or whatever it is, whatever I decide to talk about, or however it come out. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. I just want this to be like a free flowing type of thing. So with that being said, the last episode that I uploaded was the last purge. Let me just make sure. Let me make sure that that's correct. The last one was the Forever Purge. I said the last purge. So the last movie that I did, hold on. The last movie that I did, the last movie that I did was the Forever Purge. I remember me and my wife went to the theater to see that. I'm a big Purge fan. Movies like that keep like that they make a bunch of, other than like Fast and Furious, I'm cool on that series. But when you could get a good series going where it's like, yo, the Purge and Purge the election, like I don't see, like, they could keep going. You know what I mean? They could keep going with this shit if you ask me, if it's written well enough. So the last movie that I did was the Forever Purge. Fire. I like that. Like I said, I'm a fan of the Purge. So before I get up out of here, I want to talk a little bit about the First Purge, right? And that's the name of it. It's the First Purge. Not the Purge, but the First Purge. Because I know, if you're not really big into the Purge, movies, then you may think that I'm talking about the Purge being the first Purge. No, the name of it is called the Purge. So the first ever Purge was called the Purge. You know what I'm saying? Then like the fourth one, they called it the First Purge. Because this is like a prequel. This is like how it all started. You know what I'm saying? And the theme of, like, it's like, yo, Staten Island, New York. Spoiler alert. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. Like, I talk about the movies. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not one of them people who, like, you know what I'm saying, gonna come up here, and that's why a lot of the movies that I'm mostly gonna be talking about is movies that's already, you know what I'm saying, like out. Like, this shit been out for like 3-4 years damn near. You know what I'm saying? But again, I'm not one of those people who will be like, oh my God, this ain't a mystery. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kind of telling you about the movie. It's not like I'm it's just like it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to watch it, you'll watch it. You know what I'm saying? I don't let people deter me from watching it. Like, I don't go on Instagram and be like, yo, oh, I heard Coming to America 2 is the worst movie ever. No, I'm going to decide that after I watch it with my own eyes. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the First Purge, man, it was New York, Staten Island. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy because it's so similar to what's going on now as far as like you know, the shots, and we're not getting into the vaccines and things like that, but you know how people in the urban communities feel like, yo, they rushing the vaccine to the urban community, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. So in the First Purge, they had this experiment they wanted to do where they wanted to legalize crime right? In the hood. They went to the hood. They wanted to legalize crime for 12 hours. Everything is a go. You could do whatever you want. You could do whatever you want. And anybody who participated, they wore these contacts. There was like a green contact. So you know who was participating, who was not. And anybody that participated, they wouldn't get in trouble. So you could go, you could kill, you can fight, stab, shoot, rob, steal, whatever you want to do for 12 hours, just like all the previous purges. This is just how it's set off, you know? And you got the government coming to the hood with an experiment. Hey, yo, look, we're going to give you, I forgot how much money, man, 5,000 or something like that. Like you going to the projects and offering people $5,000 to stay here from this time to this time, and crime is legal. You see what I'm saying? It's like you didn't go to Beverly Hills and say, yo, here's 5,000, because they'll look at you like, fuck, I'm gonna do with that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to go to the hood where it's like 5,000 is life changing in the hood when you're in poverty. When you're in poverty, that's life changing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go to the fucking hood and do this. And it's crazy because that can be real life. You know, that could be real life. When people back against the wall and you offering them something, they may feel obligated to take that. Damn, I can support my family with this 5,000. And I won't go. And if I go over here and I break into this store and I steal all the jewelry, or if I steal all the food, like, you know, I can really support my family for the next month or two. You know what I'm saying? If I participate in this shit. And that's the crazy part. But what I liked about the first purge was you had people banded together and was like, no, this the hood. This the government doing some bullshit. And, you know, the local hustlers who, yeah, they in the hood doing bullshit too. But they felt like, damn, yo, let's stop that bullshit. Let's all get together, because the government is playing us all. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because the hustlers like, yo, y'all in the hood hustling. That ain't a good thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like a double-edged sword. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, y'all hustling, y'all doing whatever y'all doing in the hood, but the government is using you guys as guinea pigs, and they banded together. You know what I'm saying? And you know, they went at the government and they tried to stop it. I'm not gonna say if they did stop it or if they didn't stop it, but what I will say is that theme and that idea sparked, you know, the purge, and then the purge election year, and then the purge this, the purge that, the purge this. Because if you look at the world, man, the world is bugged out. You got people shooting over traffic, cutting off in traffic, they're shooting, they're doing this. And yes, it's not to the extent of the purge, but it's to the extent of, you know, we in wild times. You know what I'm saying? And just the idea of that, it makes me go, oh shit. Because think about it. If crime was legal, think about if the purge was real and crime was legal for 12 hours. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. That's a crazy idea. That's a crazy, like, that's just a whole crazy concept. And that alone made me was interested to the purge right off the bat with the first purge, which is called just the purge. You know, I forget what movie, this was years ago when the first one came out. I forget what movie I was watching. Then they did the previews. I looked right at my wife like, "Yo, we seeing this." You know what I'm saying? And I also was like, "Yo, with this type of idea, they could keep it going. You know, they could keep it going, and they did." So the first purge is about that. It's a prequel to the purge. I don't even know if it's not a series, so they're all like their own movie. You know what I'm saying? So it's a prequel, and it tells you where it started, how it started, and what came from it. And I think that shit was like the perfect introduction. Like, it's good, it's dope how they did a purge. Then I think they might have did like 2 or 3, and then they went back and showed how this shit started. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that was fire. And the concept and the storyline it's a good one. You know, it wasn't nothing corny. It wasn't no, you know, bullshit or whatever the case. It was a good storyline on, yo, I got an idea. Let's legalize crime for 12 hours. Okay, cool. How the fuck we gonna do that? Go to the hood. Go to the worst parts of the hood, offer these people a couple $1,000, and Whoever join, they get the money, and let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, people wasn't really going for it. So you know what the government do? They go out there and they kick shit started. Kind of sound like real life, right? How some people say at some of these riots and protests, it's the government out there starting some shit, getting these people riled up. That's what they did in the purge. You know, people wasn't moving fast enough. Let me throw a little monkey wrench in the program, man. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I just wanted to come touch bases a little bit, man. You know, get back on track and just let y'all know that this is gonna be movie talk, man. We talking TV shows, movies, everything, film and television. We gonna come here, we gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So please spread the word about the podcast. Let people know if they want to hear me just give my funny point of views on movies and things like that. Because, like I said, it's a lot of movie type of podcasts out there. Just like it's a lot of it's a lot of podcasts about everything out here. So it's nobody's not doing anything new under the sun. The thing I like about podcasts is me and you can say the same thing, but we're gonna say it in a different way. Me and you could say the same thing, but we're going to view it in a different way. We're going to articulate it different. Our thoughts and point of view is going to be different, even though it may be the same subject. And like I said, there's a lot of movies type of podcasts out there, but not like me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really seen too many urban type movie podcasts, if any. You know what I'm saying? And I know for a fact they're not going to be talking about the type of movies that I'm going to be talking about because they don't watch the type of movies that I watch. They don't even know the type of movies that I watch even exist. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I want to get this thing going, and I really want to just come on here and talk movies. And the more that I talk, and the more that I buckle down and I figure out how I want to do it, the more formulated the show is going to get. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be like categorized and things like that. But let me get my foot in for a little bit. Let me get back into it. It's been 6 months, so let me just get back into it. And like I said, I'm gonna have some friends come on, talk about their favorite movies and things like that. Like we're gonna get into all that. The movie talk pod at gmail.com. Hit me up, man. You know what I'm saying? If you got any suggestions for me, you want me to talk about something, you want me to check something out, you know what I'm saying? Anything, hit me there. All that's gonna be in the description. And like I said, the more I do it, the more I'm gonna start formulating and it's gonna turn into something. You understand what I'm saying? So I just wanted to come back, tap bases with y'all. Again, if you haven't seen The First Purge, go watch it. You know what I'm saying? Not The Purge. Well, you can watch that one too, because the first Purge movie is called The Purge. The one I'm talking about is like the third one, but it's called The First Purge. So check it out. And also, if you do check these joints out, like if you've never seen a movie and you went and checked it out because, you went and checked it out because you heard it on the podcast, email me and tell me, yo, I checked the movie out. That way I know I'm reaching some people. You know what I'm saying? So if you've never seen a movie that I'm talking about, go watch that movie. Let me know what you think about the movie. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you think about the movie. You understand? So again, I'm about to sign off. I'm back at it. The movie talk pod. We're gonna turn it up, man. We're gonna turn it up. So again, hit me on Instagram. Another thing too, man. If you got Instagram and you listening to this podcast, follow me, man. Let me know, yo, I'm fucking with the podcast, so I know who you is, where you came from, and whatever the case. But anyway, hit me up on Instagram, Rick_BHR. Hit the email, themovietalkpod at gmail.com. All that will be in the description. Movie Talk Pod. We on deck.